It's Ron back here with another video on Ron Brown's YouTube channel, and we cover, drones, drone gear, drone tech, drone firmwares, everything drone related. And today we're back with another drone about the new DJI Mini 3 drone, which just got released. Last week. It's today is never know the date here, but today is the 15th, I think, of December. And I think it was released on around the 9th of December, so it's been out about less than a week now. And it's a lot of fanfare of the drone. We're going to get into this video here. It's going to kind of be a Ron talk here. I don't think you're going to see, there won't be any drone flying in this video, but it's more of a Ron talk where we're going to kind of get into the Mini 3. What is the best option for you? The Mini 3, the Mini 3 Pro, even the Mini 2, which is still around, and also the Autel Nano Plus, which is also another sub 250 gram drone that competes in this category. So with no further ado, let's get into this full blown kind of mini drone shootout video. So it's going to kind of be everything you ever need to know about mini drones, but we're afraid to ask. Go. Okay, I kind of got a lineup of mini drones on the table here. This is actually a Mini 3 Pro. I do not have a Mini 3 here, and I don't need a Mini 3 to demonstrate anything to you because the Mini 3 Pro could do everything the Mini 3 can. If I want to show how the Mini 3 works, I could just show this instead. I could just turn off that feature that the Mini Pro has that the Mini 2 doesn't. I have the little DJI Mini 2, very successful drone. I think it's over 2 years old right now, and then we have the Autel Nano Plus, which is about a year old now. So, okay, let's get into some basics right now. If your number one concern is remote ID, you never want to have to deal with anything to do with remote ID. This is your drone. You could just turn the video off now, go buy the Mini 2. If you already have the Mini 2, just stick with it. It most likely will never get updated for remote ID. It's over 2 years old. It's already kind of going out of support with a DJI. I don't mean out. They'll still repair it for you. But I mean, it doesn't get any new features or anything like that. So if you want to dodge the whole remote ID whole situation here, just grab the Mini 2 and you're good to go. You're done. You don't have to watch any more of this video. That's your number one priority by a long shot is remote ID. Okay. Now, if price is your main concern, price trumps everything, it's more important than any feature or anything like that, back up again with the Mini 2. This normally sells over DJI, the basic kit for $449 at the DJI.com website or Amazon. I will leave some links below for all this stuff if you want to purchase. And please consider using my purchase links because I do get a small commission from all the Amazon sales. But I know this has been on sale this week for $509 for the Fly More combo, where you get three extra batteries, a multi-charger, extra props, a case. So this is the best deal out there by far. And you can search far and wide over, Amazon, YouTube, eBay, the web, and you'll find even better deals than what I just described on this thing. It's been around a while. There's always a pop-up deal and whatever that you can get this thing, just the drone itself or the Fly More combo, very low places. So if price, is your main consideration, there you go. This is it. You can shut the video off again and go ahead and purchase one, or just keep flying the one you got. Okay, now beyond that, here's some basics here. If and you see on here, I'm going to take this off. This is the gimbal cover from our good friends over at Start RC. It's a lot of people think it's much easier to get on and off than the gimbal cover that's provided by DJI themselves, and some people don't say that, but this is real affordable. It's like $11. I mean, these prices change by the daily, so it can be $12 a day you look at. I'll leave a link down below, but it's real nice. Slides on and off very easily. Stays on, protects the obstacle avoidance sensors along with the drone itself. So okay, how about this now? Say camera quality is your main concern above everything else. How good the camera is your number one thing. Okay, well, get rid of this here. This has, the camera on this is good, but it's not close to the camera on these two here. These two have the best camera. They both have about the same size sensors, a little bit smaller than a 1 inch. They both have wide apertures. This has like a 1.7. This has a 1.9. This has what they call the RYYB filter sensor, in it, and they claim this leaves in more light than the regular filter here, which I think is RG something. In other words, this has more green, this has a more yellow, and yellow leaves in more light. That's my unprofessional, unengineer explanation of how the sensor works. So anyhow, this leaves in a lot of light here. So this may be your preferable drone in low light. Over this, but I'm saying in daytime the cameras are equal. I think the colors are more natural in this. This one's a little more oversaturated, and this has a lot of kind of over sharpening in it where this doesn't. So just my opinion now. So again, but if cameras are your number one thing, these are the two mini drones to get. And this is the Pro. Of course, if pretend the regular mini here, it has the same camera as this, but it's dumbed down. It has it can't do 4K 60. This can't do 4K 60. This is the only mini drone in this category here that is 4K 60. This has 150 megabits of computer, processing. I don't know how you say that, but 150 bit. So in other words, it's faster, so it leaves in more detail than the 100 bit on this one here. So keep that in consideration. I don't remember what the bit rate is here, but this isn't even close to these two, so don't even consider it if camera's your number one priority. And this can do the vertical video. It's the only drone in this class could do the vertical video. Now, if I had the Play Mini 3 here, it could do the vertical video also. So this one, is the probably the best as far as the camera features. Now, the Mini 3 is dumbed down a little bit. It's more on a scale of this. They both have 4K 30. I think they both have the 100 megabyte bit rate that this one has the 150. So the Mini 3 is more comparable with this than it is this one. This one, definitely has the best camera specs and the most features as far as things like 4K 60 and 10-bit color and all that. This is the clear winner over here. So again, so let me kind of restate this here. If camera quality is your number one thing, and let's make this sit in for the Mini 3 here for a second. I would choose this one here, and I would choose probably this one second, and the Mini 3 third, just because this one gives you the low light capability. Unless that vertical video is very important to you, then maybe more important than low light, then this would supersede this as far as that's concerned. Now, one audible I'm going to call here, since it's football season. If low light is your number one, low light nighttime filming is your number one priority, then we're going to push this guy to the back, this guy maybe to second, and this guy the number one. If that's your most important thing there. So that kind of wraps up the camera discussion here. Now, the only again, one more audible before we leave the camera discussion. If you factor in price and camera, this guy is the most expensive. This basic. I'm not going to mention the kits with just the drone themselves, because if you're a first-time drone user, buying just the drone doesn't do you any good. You need a controller. We're going to get into controllers a little bit here too. So this is the most expensive. This is the best camera, but the most expensive. I think the Autel is, this is probably I'd call the second best camera. Again, it's tough. It depends on whether you want low light or vertical video, and this one's a little bit more expensive than the Mavic 3. So again, as far as price versus performance, this is probably your best, because you could pick up I think just the drone, just the basic drone kit, drone controller and battery for $5.99 right now. Autel's had a Black Friday sale that never ends. Whether this is the permanent prices of the Autel drones, I do not know, but the sale just kind of lives on here. And you can get a Flyboard version of this for $699, which you get the 3 batteries, the case, extra props, yada yada yada. So that makes this a kind of a better buy than the plain Mini 3 at this point, because this plain Mini 3 at this point I think is $5.99 for the the basic kit, and like $6.69 or something like that for the kit with the better control. We're getting the whole controller thing here in a second here too. So this may be the better buy right now of the bunch here. And of course, this has, we're going to go to a whole nother category here. We're going to do a pivot here. Now, if obstacle avoidance and tracking are very important to you, this guy, now this becomes the Mini 2 again. The Mini 2 falls to the wayside because there's none of that. No tracking, no obstacle avoidance. Has sensors, so it won't for the ground, for the landing, but nothing else. Okay, now this has obstacle avoidance. This has front, rear, and downward. Okay, this is the same thing. This has front, rear, and downward sensors. So they both kind of equal in that sense. But also now with the obstacle avoidance brings us to they also have some tracking abilities. This one has a lot of the tracking abilities that the more sophisticated Air 2S has. The whole point of interest, active track, that whole suite of things. So it's very good at tracking things. Not just you riding a motorcycle or something like that, but if you want to draw boxes around buildings and orbit around that kind of stuff, or you wanted to the drone to stay still, but you want it to track a moving thing on the ground. This has all those capabilities in it here, where this can just do your basic kind of track, where you can be walking along or driving along on your bicycle, and it can track you along. As far as all those other active track kind of suite of things that this has, this doesn't have this. So they both have obstacle avoidance, and this obstacle avoidance seemed to be a little over aggressive, but the recent firmware updates have kind of toned that down, so it's a little bit better lately. It's not being too over aggressive. But as far as all the other capabilities that obstacle avoidance brings you, like all the tracking stuff, this lags far behind this one. So if tracking, obstacle avoidance, and tracking features are your top priority, this drone is the clear winner. And if you have say that this is going to pretend to be the Mini 3 again, this doesn't have obstacle avoidance. Also, it doesn't have any tracking, so it goes back to the back of the heap again. And this stays right behind the Mini 3 Pro. So that's your concern of tracking. Again, you pay more money to get all that extra tracking and features on here, but and again, this is on sale right now, but $5.99 versus, I believe it's this is around $750 with a base kit, which means no extra batteries and all that. So $659 versus like $5.99 for base kit. So you pay quite a bit more to get all the extra tracking goodies, with this one here. And if you want all your kind of advanced flying features, like the orbits, the dronies, all those, what those features are called now, basically the drone flies around and does a whole suite of different type of shots. They all kind of have it to an effect here. This one has your basic like dronies and shots like that, orbits. But it doesn't have any of the ones that, based on the tracking. And this also doesn't have master shots, which is kind of a thing. I think it's exclusive to this in the mini drone category. So this has some of them. This has some, again, those drone type of things and top-down auto shots and whatever. But it doesn't have anywhere as near as much as the Mini 3 Pro does. In fact, this one probably doesn't have much more than the Mini 2 as far as as advanced features. This one's far out in the lead, and we're pretending this to be the Mini 3, the Mini 3. We'll call it just the Mini 3 here. It has the dronies and Again, I can't think of the other ones right now. I'm talking too much here. But the drone type things, this has them, but it doesn't have the master shots or any of the more advanced ones. That the Mini 3 Pro has. They kind of took them out of here, and I believe this doesn't even have hyperlapse. The Play Mini 3 from what they tell me or from what I've seen in the videos. So it's a big con because this, of course, going back to the back here, this has hyperlapse, as well as panos and everything. And this, I think the Mini 2 and the Mini 3 have the panos, but this has the hyperlapse, a good hyperlapse like this one does. So if those type of things are important, this is by far, those automated shots. This is by far the best one here, and this one, as far as, because it has hyperlapse, and sounds like the Mini 2 and the Mini 3 are about even on those automated quick shot type modes there. So okay, as far as battery life is concerned, I think this one's rated at about like 31 minutes, and in reality it gets more like about 20 minutes. And this one too, this one has, forget what it's rated at, but it gets about 20 minutes. So these two in the battery life, they're just kind of average. I mean, they both fall back to the wayside here as far as back. If a long flight time's your main concern, then these two are out of the picture. Now this is gonna pretend to be the Mini 3 again here. When it's backwards, it's the Mini 3. Now the Mini 3 Pro always had great battery life. They had two different batteries. They have a standard battery, and then they have the Plus battery. And the Plus battery used to get you 47 minutes of flight time, and the standard battery used to get 38. I'm making these numbers up here, something like that. But the good news is the Mini 3, because all the features are missing from it. A lot of stuff I just said, all the camera features, the obstacle avoidance, the tracking, they've taken so much out of this drone that it now gets 4 more minutes. And I think 4 more minutes on both batteries. I know they're advertising 51 on the Plus battery, and I think the Plus battery and this is 47. So I think it's 4 minutes for the other battery too. So if long flight time is your number one concern, then this actually jumps to the lead of the Mini 3 Pro. Now, somebody said this in a video, and I forget whose video it was, and I haven't seen anybody test it yet. But when they're rating this 51 minutes against 47, somebody said, "Is that with obstacle avoidance turned off?" Somebody speculated if you turned obstacle avoidance off on this and did a flight time test or whatever, would they both be the same? That's a good question. I'd love to see somebody that has the Mini 3 and the Mini 3 Pro do that test to see which one actually had the the better battery life. So okay, but right now I'm still going to give this guy the lead in flight time here. Flight time is your number one thing. Then there you go. There you go. No compromises. So all right, let's move on to another important category that a lot of people talk about all the time is signal strength here. So this one has OcuSync 2 on it. And with OcuSync 2 is great. It gives you real good signal strength. You can go way out. I don't have all the miles things here, and all that's just written down on paper. But you have real good signal with this one. And this one has I don't know what Autel, if they have a fancy name for their signal, but this one has a good signal too. In fact, I would say the Autel has a little bit better signal than the OcuSync 2 on the Mini 2. So now this one over here has OcuSync 3, which I put in the lead with the OcuSync 3. This is ahead of these other two here, and OcuSync 3 is just I think it goes 2 more kilometers than OcuSync 2 according to the specs or whatever. And I bet you spec wise these are pretty close. And I really can't say that the signal's better in this than it is this. This is kind of just limited to, it doesn't fly quite as fast and robust as this one. So you want to get this thing too far away from you in the headwind, may have trouble getting it back. Now I really beat this thing up when I first got it for not flying well in the wind, but it's doing much better now through firmware updates, but it's still not as good as this one is fighting the wind or flying fast. And flying fast, I don't even mention flying fast. I mean, we're not race car drivers here, but flying fast just means it has a better ability to handle the winds and wind gusts. So now we're going to pretend this is the Mini 3 again. Now the problem with the Mini 3 is here. It only has OcuSync 2. It got dumbed down from OcuSync 3 in the Pro to 2 in the Mini 3. So it actually goes in last place here. This is better than OcuSync 2. So this one's actually, it's almost like, I'm going to call it almost a tie here. If range is your number one issue here, signal strength, and I'm going to give this one a slightly faster, better to the Mini 3 because of the ability to fly in the wind. So when you're if you do get pretty far away from yourself, you actually have the horsepower, or the we're going to call it the seagull power to get back to your home point again. So okay, that's kind of it on the drones themselves. So let's take a look at the controllers here. Okay, first up will be the Autel controller. Put your phone up here, kind of standard thing. It's a good controller. I guess it in combination with the drone, creates the good signal strength. This is the I'm going to call it the heaviest of the controllers here. The heaviest controller. Now, some of the negatives is the sticks. There's no mounting place on the back of the controller to put the sticks in, so you have to, put the sticks someplace else. I think original Adobe will make some kind of a stick holder for this thing that a lot of people like, so that's a consideration too. It's a fine controller. And they have, kind of this nice handle here if you don't have any type of a neck strap. The only con is it doesn't have a speed control option like all the DJI drones have that speed button. So for you to change your speed on this one, you have to either jump in settings. There's a place on the top left-hand corner of the menu to change the speed, or you can assign the function button to the change the speeds here too. But having a speed control button in the front, not having is a big con for me. Just for me, just saying for me. And it has one scroll wheel on this side here. It doesn't have the other one on this side here, just the one. So it's the gimbal on this one. So yeah. So it's good control, nothing wrong with just the cons I said about not having the speed control. And again, it is a little on the heavy side. I don't know if it needs to be that heavy, but and without a without some kind of a tablet holder type of deal, you could not put you could not fly with a tablet. You'd have to get a tablet mouse, such as the one made by I'll put the link in right here now down below or something. So okay, so that's it on this controller. And this is the only controller that will control the Nano. There's no smart controller option or anything like that at this point. I know they've kind of preview the smart controller option, but as of the making of this video, which I think is the 15th of December, or maybe it's the 16th already, they haven't come up with it's not compatible. They haven't even officially announced on their web page that's going to work with this. So for right now, this is your only option. So no smart controller option as of this date. We're going to put this to the side now. The Mini 2. We'll get this out of the way. This comes with the RN1 controller. I think that's how you say it, the basic DJI controller here. And it's a good controller. You need to put your phone up here. If you want to mount a tablet, you need some kind of a tablet mount. It has a speed switch, which I love. It does have a place to put the sticks down below, so when you have to if you have to take the sticks off, you can mount them down here for travel. It only has the one scroll wheel here, a function button over there. Again, I mentioned it has a speed switch. I love it. I probably said that a couple times. I really like that thing. It's lighter than the Autel controller, but it has no built-in screen on it. Now, smart controller options for this. The original DJI smart controller will pilot the Mini 2. So of course, that controller when it came out was like I think a $700, $800 controller with the power of, $450 drone. So I don't know how much sense that makes, but there is a smart controller option. But I believe that controller is maybe discontinued at this point. I don't believe they're DJI still making it, but you could still easily find it out there, on the with a simple Google search. So there you go. So that's your option for the Mini 2. Okay, now we're back to the Mini 3 here, and we're gonna again. This is gonna sit in as the Mini 2 here. As the Mini 3, the Mini 2 backwards. Okay, so both these drones, we're gonna get this. Both these drones will work with the standard DJI, R1 controller type here. And I know I'm messing that name up here, but there's one in there someplace. It'll work with both these drones here. In fact, the standard kits that you buy, this is the controller you will get with both these drones, the Mini 3 Pro and the Mini 3. So good control. We already just discussed it. But if you would like to upgrade, you can get both these drones with an upgraded kit with the DJI RC, just DJI RC, but a nice easy name for this one. And I believe the kit that this comes with is like 700 and like $950 I think gets you the drone, one battery and the controller here. And with the Mini 3, I believe it's like, pardon me, it's I think it's only like $669. I'm going to put all these prices down, but basically everything's $200 less. However you buy the Mini 3 versus the Mini 2, it's $200 less. So I think this is more like a $750 kit, but the kits are $200 less no matter how you kit them out. It's about $200. So this controller will work with both these drones. So, and this is the controller that just came out kind of in tandem with the Mini 3 last spring, the Mini 3 Pro. So yeah, and this is the best controller yet. You can see it has a large, I think it's 5.5 inch, like 700 nit screen. Beautiful screen. No need to use your smartphone with it. You get scroll wheels on both sides here, not just the gimbal, but also another scroll wheel that control different things. Zoom in, zoom out. You can select many things. Also has 2 function buttons on the back. Also has a place to hold your sticks when you're not using them. It has I have mounts in there now, but you can, there's 2 1/4 inch screw holes there, so you can mount things there, so you can get a neck lanyard to hold this around you, because it is it's a little bit heavier than this one, a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger, so you may want a lanyard if you're going to do an extended flight with it. And it has like a little cover here. Of course, since this has a kind of a semi-smart controller, you put a memory card in this as a backup. You can record through the memory card. And there's a couple other USB-C ports. This one's over here for charging, and this one, we kind of don't know what this does yet, the second USB-C, but this is your charging port, the one that's exposed over here. So again, has the speed controls on I love. So again, this is, going to cost you a little bit more money, but it's probably the best option out there right now. And this will also fly all the other current DJI drones. This will fly the Air 2S, which that just got updated recently, and it'll also fly the Air 2S and Mavic 3, and I guess Mavic 3 Classic. So it's a great versatile controller. Flies a lot of the current DJI drones. So can't go wrong with this controller, folks. Now, here's another downgrade for the Play Mini 3. The Mini 3 Pro will also work with the DJI RC Pro, which I don't have on the desk right now, but it's their top controller, 1,000 nits. It's a real smart controller. You can load apps and stuff on it, third-party apps and so on. It's the big kahuna of DJI controllers. But they dumbed this one down to where it doesn't work with the DJI RC Pro. Only the Mini 3 is the only mini drone that'll work with that controller. So that's something to think about if you do have an RC Pro. I mean, I'll make my same analogy to before. You're not going to go out and buy a budget drone, a $500 $50 budget drone and then go buy a a $1,200 controller to fly the drone with. This is just if you're the type of person you have another DJI drone, such as the Mavic 3 or the Mavic 3 Classic, or even the Mavic 3 Cine, and you already have that drone or that controller, that Go RC Pro, and you love that controller. You don't want to fly with anything else. So then you happen to get a second drone, maybe for some more casual flying, like a Mini 3 Pro or a Mini 3. You just bind that up with the RC Pro, and it kind of makes sense from that standpoint if you look at it coming from top down here. So yeah, so I think that kind of covers a lot of my random thoughts on the current line mini drones, and I'm not going to tell you which one is the best. I mean, the best is all what you're looking for. Like I said, I started the video out of said if you're most worried about remote ID coming in September of 2023, I already told you which is the best drone to get. You get the Mini 3, the Mini 3 Pro, or the Mini 3. You're gonna, they already have remote ID baked into the software. So even though they're mini drones, for some reason DJI baked it in, possibly because it could take a 200 plus battery, which will put it over. So anyhow, so if again, you're going to have to deal with remote ID in some form or another in September with either the Mini 3 Pro or the Mini 3. Now, I mean, you won't have to add a module or anything to it. It's built into the drones already, and it seems to have already been updated via a software update. I know people accuse DJI of sneaking them in on you, but and I've heard, or from I think Autel's made an official announcement that the Autel Nano Plus will be remote ID compatible as well. But I don't know if it's the same. It's under 250 grams, so I don't know if the remote ID will be forced on you. I don't know exactly the steps that. So I mean, again, if skirt and remote ID is your number one concern, I'm not sure if this is going to be the drone for you either. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I think the most important thing I have to say about the Nano, and this is the last thing I'll say here. If geofencing is your number one concern with getting a drone, and what geofencing means is all the DJI drones have a built-in geofence, so they will not fly in restricted airspace. They will not even take off unless you get you apply for a waiver, a flight waiver, and you'll get like a code that you can type into the Fly app. All the DJI drones I showed you run on the DJI Fly app. That'll unlock it for you to prove that you got approval, and you put that approval in the Fly. But here's the caveat: a lot of times you have a DJI drone just near a restricted area, and it may not even be near a restricted area. They just have these built-in geozones, which sometimes they don't allow you to take the drone off without again. Going through a bunch of hoops and getting a code from DJI themselves to unlock it so you can take off. So, and that geozone could be right next to your house, so you may not be able to fly right at your own house because of these DJI geozones. Well, with the Autel drones, all Autel drones, not just the Nano Plus, you never have to deal with the geozone. They don't have the geozones built in. At this date, December 15th, 2022, there's no geozones in the U.S. on this drone, so you will be able to take off. Even if you live right across the street from a DJI geozone, you will take off with this. Even if you live right across the street from, say you live 100 yards from where the restricted airspace is or whatever, this will go ahead and take off too. So this gives you a lot more freedom as far as that's concerned. So again, geozones, your number one concern. Fly this because the only Autel mini drone. As far as I know, this is the Plus, but as far as I know, I've never seen anybody review or have the non-Plus version of this drone. They made it, they didn't make it, they didn't send it to the U.S. So okay, well, again, I would try to wrap up in a minute. I almost forgot my geozone rant there, but that's kind of it. I hope this helps you determine which of these mini drones is best for you. I know you're going to be conflicted between some of these drones, or the mini 2's not as much of a conflict, because again, if we stated that about remote ID and price. I mean, it's clearly ahead in those. It's a clear winner, but it's a clear loser as far as like camera quality and things like this. And now it's going to be the the regular Mini 3. So it's going to be tough choose between the Pro, the regular Mini 3, and the Autel Nano, just because the Nano's on an incredible sale right. And the Nano, when it came out, it was priced at about the same price as this, maybe even priced higher than the Mini 3 Pro. So kind of overpriced in many in the community's opinion. But now that the prices got lowered considerably, I don't mean just $100 to shaved off. I mean it's like $300 cheaper than it was before the sale started. So this really makes it a much more competitive drone at these lower prices, especially competitive to the Mini 3, because now it's a little bit more than the plain Mini 3, but it's probably the better drone in many ways. But of course it's the clear loser in flight time between the two Mini 3 drones. So it's so many factors that get in. It's almost like somebody should create this giant spreadsheet, and even then you'd read the spreadsheet over and you'd be real confused on what to get. So there is no perfect drone, but in my mind, the most perfect drone here is the Mini 3 Pro combined with this controller here, and that's the main thing you have the Autel. No smart controller option is a big deal for many that are tired of flying with their phones. So this, to me, this is the best. The best, we're going to call it bundle. The best duo right here is these two devices combined here, Mini 3 Pro and the DJI RC control, which you can get for just a little over $900. You can get this kit here, and then you can add a Flymore for another $200 or so. And two different Flymores. There's Flymore with the standard battery, and then a more expensive one with a plus battery. So there you go. That's it. Probably talked too long here, but just want to get that information out here. Remember, if you're considering one of these drones, please consider using my links here. These will all be Amazon links where you may be able to find it for a few dollars cheaper someplace else, and go right ahead and do that. But just remember, the Amazon, you'll get the 2-day free shipping if you're a Prime member, and also you have an easy return. You buy something like these drones especially this drone from some Autel pilots or whatever. It's going to take a long time to get here. If there's any problem with the drone, you get no support from Autel pilots. They'll say send it back, but it'll cost you $150 to send it back to China. So that's not a very good option. So remember, easy Amazon return. You got like 30 days. If anything's wrong with the drone, you don't like the drone, just send it back. So anyhow, give this video a thumbs up if you got anything out of it. It'll help get the video out to more people out there in YouTube land rather than just my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for, as Rick Smith would say? Sub it up for more drone videos like this, and please ring that bell, ring the bell so you'll know when to put up another drone video. So, okay, that's it. I'm going to say, if you don't watch another one of my videos, happy holidays to you folks, and we will see you in the next one.